Just in case if someone was wondering why am I not saying anything, it's just, you know, it's on purpose. I'm just, for now I'm silent because I'm like sending the things. Don't worry. Don't you dare thinking that I've accidentally, you know, started the stream. Yeah, give me a moment. I'm going, literally in a second, I'm going to explain exactly what we're going to do. And yeah. I just need to send out notifications to people that I'm currently streaming. You know, like all that jazz. Okay, so soap. Yes, soap. Tasty soap. Soap. No, we are not going to eat soap today. But yeah, so maybe let me please explain exactly what happened yesterday. So I think I've also talked about that peculiar issue also last week. But yesterday I've had issues with my internet. I have this problem where I'm getting kicked out of my Wi-Fi. No idea what's going on. It might be either my Wi-Fi card, which I hope it's not, or it might be my router that I'm connecting to. No idea what's going on. Also, yesterday I've had literally issues with sustaining, with even turning on the like task manager or something. I don't know. Might need a good format, right? But yeah, of course coffee, because we need to charge our batteries somehow. I'm struggling with like figuring out space here and there for everything. But yeah, also sorry from the start. Huge sorry that I'm like genuinely, you know, a little bit dark. It's still day, so you can see how hard the light is hitting from the window that I have behind me. But yeah, the thing is that I think what we are going to do is going to be simple. I'm taking those bases, throwing them into the human, and I'm going to take those bases and translate them into humans. And there's a reason why. Humans are going to be my bases. It's like going to be like a base to distinct all those various, you know, all those various races, right? That'll be that. Besides this, yeah. Although there are still a couple things that I don't really like. For example, about this, like I feel like, you know, this shoulder should be hidden like this, rather than anything. You know, maybe like sticking out like this, but yeah, that's more anatomically accurate. Again, anatomy accuracy is what's very important, right? Also, like that's also something I've heard, that I need to show good anatomy, and just showing it in like, you know, changed characters. It's going, you know, with like stylized characters, you won't really show it. But yeah, so basically I'm just going to draw the characters in basic underwear, so we are going to also fit into the TOS. But usually I like my bases pseudo naked, which means you know, you don't really see much of the, like, you know, certain areas of the body, but it's, you are not like adding to the base your, like, any, you know, any like underwear or anything like this. So it's like whatever was there before I've added those boxers, and just colored into a flesh skin tone. But if I'm going to do it here, it's going to be frowned upon on content creation websites. So that's that. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. You know, I don't know if we are going to do a second stream today. That's the thing. I don't know. The thing is that I'm noticing that I have ease with streaming at this time. Although for many people, probably it's also time to go to school, right? Like, for, you know, like for example, most of the folks, let's say in Poland, would be almost done with their classes. I remember I was ending at 1:45. Some of my classes sometimes. So and it was in technical college. So yes, if nothing changed, if they didn't make longer days, then yeah. But yeah, I'm also you know, trying to figure out a couple things for the game, right? And basically like how to get my day going, you know what I mean? Also, I've been, again, right before the stream, I was recording the Lego Batman. I did finish the all of the stages to 100%. But yeah, I still need to but I'm on 98.6%, basically. So yeah. And again, we are going to draw a lot of elements to the body that are going to be quite realistic, which means closed eyes, tear canals. Sorry, tear channels? Would that be? Basically, everything that's going to be needed for realistic being. And yeah. On the last stream, we did actually had some problems, but to be fair, this break that we've had from a lot of things, right? Like this break we've made between you know, the new bases compared to, you know, compared to some other elements. I needed it because now I know a little bit more about the races I want to do. Because again, like, I do spend time, even though some things are not written yet or never will be. I am still thinking about how I can make things, you know, better, right? Or uh, what I can do to have a, you know, uh, what what I can add, right? What I can do. Like, I'm doing all that writing basically. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Now I need like a good eyebrows. Okay, that works, I guess. Okay, that works. Okay. So, and that's literally human male. That's it. But the head is too small. Like that's always the same issue that I have. Like neck is good, right? But the head always seems to be slightly too small. I mean, too big. Sorry. Now it's good because it needed to be smaller, right? Uh, yeah. I always have this issue with the heads. I don't know why. I think I'm making like I really need to finally make that 3D model. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, today after the stream or whenever, but yeah, okay. So irises are always, big enough to be covered by the eyelids, right? Okay. And that's like the baseline, right? Like the general idea is that we are making characters that are like baseline of certain race. So like that's as average as it can get. Of course, there are going to be characters with longer hair, shorter hair, more buff, less buff, right? Like this kind of thing. But of course, but we needed to, properly operate this through like this. And yeah. Okay. So you've got the guy. Hmm. There's actually still a bunch of things that need to be like erased or something, but okay, let's leave it like this. That's the finished dude. Kind of. We'll need to color him. But now let's do the woman. Okay, so we did the woman. Right? And we need to also give her some underwear. Okay. I do think that it is a normal thing. And we have that. Okay. Perfect. But actually, it's not good. Uh, it actually should come from like this, and it should be like, spiked to be like this directly. Okay, that works. So basically, that. It is what it is. That's exactly what we are going to do. I'm going to. So I'm almost done with recording how I'm 100%ing Lego Batman. I need to edit it. I don't know how long the videos are going to be, but I think like they're going to be like I'm going to cut out all those like problems I have, and whenever I'm like in trouble, right? Like when I'm having difficulties to really figure things out, and just get the thing when I'm getting it, or if I'm going to struggle, at least I'm going to leave like some footage from that, and then I'm going to like cut it short. But yeah, I'm happy that I've got like I'm so close to having that 100%. I just need to finish one special mission, and that's it. Okay, like this, and like this. Okay, that works. I think. I hope. Ladies, please correct me. Okay, if we have anyone in the chat or in the comments section, please correct me. Oh yeah. Oh my. But yeah, that's that. We're now finishing the coverage for the female model, and now let's add, the nose. Quack. Hi Zagagatevi here. How are you? Hope everything has gone. How are you? How have you been? I'm feeling good personally. We are just drawing right now the races. I'm just continuing. Yesterday I couldn't stream because of the problems of the internet, so in between meetings. I see. So you are busy too. Mm-hmm. That's it is what it is, right? I'm just working this out, trying to draw them more realistic, because again, like, that's what I've heard that I have to do, and that actually makes sense. Like, realism is something that most of the games are doing. Like, they're making realistic characters, like making photos. Yeah, I feel like, yeah. What you feel like? You were doing the foreshortening with the eyes and bubbles. Not sure what distance the inspector is compared to the character. This one, yeah. For the eyes, you think? I believe eyes are same. Oh, wait, no, they are not the same. Like, they are not the same size. Like this. Yeah, no, it does look better. And you're right about the one of the breasts. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And the head is good. Yeah. So for the man, is it the same thing with the eye? It is. For the guy, it's the same thing with the eyes. God damn it. And here I was saying that all the heads are always troubling me. So I need to delete those irises. Yeah. Because he looked like he saw something that he shouldn't. I guess I can do this. Because again, like we are going for standard procedures, right? Like we're making like just average everything, right? And on average, I think it's kind of worth doing faceless ones, so multiple faces can be added later. Oh, but I'm just doing concept art. It's not like I'm going to use those for the game. No. I'm just doing concept art for the races. Yeah. And later on, I'm going to do concept art for classes. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to put them in like different armors, outfits, etc. So I would have like average character in average design of a certain class, right? That's the goal at least. Yeah. But yeah, you are right. If I would be doing like actual like characters to like animate in Spine or something, then yeah. But it's also going to be a card game, right? So the characters on the cards are not going to move. Yeah. And yes, I'm doing this in realism, but then I'm going to transfer it to pixel art, uh, which is going to be stylized for anime. But it is what it is. I'm doing this for portfolio sake, you know? The guy's mouth needs to be like twisted a little bit. Yeah. Also, my eyes like acting up. God damn it. I can feel like it's, it's twitching. It's irritating. All right. We can try to clean things up a little bit, but it's, after all, it's concept art, so you don't need to clean a lot for concept art. So we do have it. I'm going to give them some color. but it's going to be like bright gray basically. Okay. I was thinking about the cards in my game, but then decided to make them just skill slots and make better battles like Pokemon or Final Fantasy. That sounds really cool. That sounds really cool. Hell yeah. I'm actually also thinking about like adding cards that are going to like possess like, you know, let's say you're going to have like torture chambers, right? And the torture chambers might have like something added to them, like this torture chamber contains father of uh, Manik the Marauder. And basically, if you are going to be the person to, well, the person, if you, in the round there's going to be Manik the Marauder randomized from the cards, you can be sure that immediately he's going to like target your dungeon, right? So you will have to also like watch out for this. But I guess also if you like beat the Manik the Marauder in those chambers or like generally in your dungeon while having that card, it's going to like allow you to get some better loot. So yeah, that's the thing. I want the cards to like really change how you play, you know? Because like you have, I want the game to be like very, very logical. Because in the end, it's just going to be you know the turn-based game that's supposed to be a that's supposed to be a party game, so people are just going to like play it, supposed to play it as a party, in a party or something like this, right? So that's the shtick, if you would ask me. But just want to have some fun with that. I think I'll do random environmental interactions too. To be fair, what like I've been also like pondering like other elements for the game, right? And I was like, like if there is garbage bin, there will be an action option to get into its cover. Huh. That sounds cool. To be fair, you know what your game sounds like for me? Disgaea. I don't know if you've or Disgaea, however you want to like read it. I really enjoy those games, and it does sound like it because, for example, you like never heard of it. You spell it like I'll write the spelling because it's like messed up. So you spell it like this. These guy, oh, this guy, right? This is like series of games. Recently, they've released a new one, but a lot of people are saying that that the new game is banned. And I have to tell you, like, I've seen how people are playing it, and it actually is kind of mid. To be fair, it's not this guy that you've seen, but you can't really find like other games, right? Like because you have like 1 and 2 on Steam and like 5 and 6, I guess. But you can't find any other games from this guy. To be fair. Oh, it's isometric tactical. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like it's a bit different because you have to focus on like repeating the stages, beating the living crap out of the enemies. And basically you have to beat it, get as much experience as possible, and upgrade your characters to deal more damage and go to higher level stages basically. Also visiting something called item dimension, where you can literally just, you know, do the same thing but to get items like the, and basically that's like, you know, that's why it sounds kind of similar, because like you can have like certain things, like for example you can give a certain character a certain weapon, and this character is going to act differently depending on that weapon, right? So for example, if you give one character a spear, that character is going to like fight with the spear and master it, and it's going to unlock certain skills for the spear only. I will do a bigger map and there will be quests available which unlock neighboring tiles. Ooh, I like it. I like it, actually. Okay, the dude has like alien eyes. Yeah, like Fallout Shelter. That sounds really damn good. Can't wait. I really like Fallout Shelter. But it's, you know, it was mobile game and basically a lot of microtransactions and this type of stuff. So basically I kind of dropped the game. Like microtransactions are something that pushes me off of the games. That's why I feel like the most fair that it is to do is to actually like make a, how to say this, is to make DLCs, but the DLCs have to also include a lot of things. You know what I mean? And if you're already going to add like enough of content for a different game, just do a different game. Unless it's like, you know, gacha, right? And you're just releasing a banner with like crap load of things, then it has to be a free update. Let's focus on mine will be more cyberpunk and less apocalyptic. Let's focus on necessity survival, more focus on combat survival. Nice, nice, actually. I'm going to merge these. I'm going to now output those from the folder. I'm now going to because it's going to be to matter a lot to keep all of that like this, because I will want to also, you know, color those in like, you know, normal thing. But yeah, that's basically that. And I've copied those because I'm going to make silhouettes out of them. And let me explain you why I'm going to. So basically the silhouettes are going to be quite important in this case, because I'm going to now take the humans and I'm going to turn them into those silhouettes and transfer them into other races, right? So now I'm just going like 0 luminosity, merge down, and 15% opacity. Let's merge it with 100% opacity and we've got our silhouettes. So now those silhouettes are should be turned into things. And first race that I want to tackle that is not going to be human is going to be actually race of elves. All mob zones which can be unlocked after defeating bosses. Ooh, that's really cool. Like you have to beat a boss, and you can like go somewhere else. That would be really interesting if you're trying to farm something and you, for example, have to like figure out what you're doing wrong to beat the boss to actually progress your equipment, because otherwise you won't be able to get things. That sounds so cool. That actually sounds so cool. Zones will have different enemies and loot. Okay, so elves, right? And unlock new classes and quests. Will you be able to change actively your class? Fuck. Okay. Or not? I need to figure out like what are going to be the best mutations to. So basically, we're working on elves, right? Classes or more like what you build and what weapon you use. Oh, okay. So it's very highly dependent on just what weapon you are picking up. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. So here's the biggest question. I want to make elves to be highly adaptable race. So basically, they are changing. If they are living in forests, they are going to look way differently because they are going to be like adapting to the forest environment. They'll be able to grow mutations to their bodies, like for example, get the, get the, like tails and other things, right? So they will be able to like move better around the forests, and like their arms are going to look differently, legs are going to look differently, etc., etc. But I'm wondering what are going to be the best mutations for them. Can be leveled up and gain stats, and leveling up kills. Leveling up skills. Yeah. Nice. I like it. But like, they're always supposed to like evolve to perfection. Like all like their body's always supposed to thrive for like perfect adaptation to things. You know? Like I would also, I guess, could like separate them between like, oh, this village of elves lives on trees, so they have to be good climbers and they have like all the best things. But I guess you can still like, upgrade them. Some modifications can happen like your elves, but with cybernetics and bioengineering, body parts and surgery. Ooh. I mean, yeah, for Cyberpunk, it does make sense, to be fair. It does make sense a lot. Because, like, it's just Cyberpunk, right? Like, people are starting to get mixed with androids and stuff. So, yeah. There will be robots too. Nice. To be fair, what would you be thinking about the fact that, for example, robots will have to like be resistant to certain damage? Like, for example, like let's say you have someone who's fighting bare fists, right, or something like this, but then robots are going to be like too hard for the fists, so you'd have to like reach for other blunt force. You know what I mean? Robots resist mental damage, intimidation, etc. I see. That's cool. That's actually cool. Okay, so there we go. The best adaptations for forest life include camouflage to blend into trees and leaves, specialized climbing limbs for like prehensile tails or sharp claws, and keen senses of hearing or smell to detect danger through dense brush. Okay. Prehensile tails and strong limbs used by animals like spider monkeys to grip branches and swing safely high above the forest floor. Okay, so we know that we want tails. Sharp curved claws, weak to hacking, electric damage, and such. Ooh. So to be fair, if you like think it through properly, and you are going to have like a bunch of like badasses that are like over leveled or maxed out already, you'll be able to just have one of each specialist, like specialist in hacking, etc. And each one of them will be able to like, for example, just solo enemies on their own because they're like specialists in the sector. For example, I guess. But so sharp curved claws found on squirrels and tree creepers to scale vertical tree bark with ease. That's what I've mentioned, right? Gliding membranes utilized by flying frogs to travel between plants without dropping to dangerous ground level. So not only the flying frogs, but also flying squirrels and a bunch of other forest animals. And the game should ramp up difficulty proportionally. I see. I see. That's nice. Mm, yeah, so for sure we'll have to like give them like some like bull, like really like powerful looking forearms. Maybe like thicker legs. Um, but also I think like the legs could be like double jointed for like fast running. Also, sometimes choices have to be made about what to sacrifice in progress. I see. I see. You do have an interesting project actually, Zaga. Like, to be fair, like you that's the thing, like you don't see many games. And when someone like just uses their head and creates a good game, there's like crap load of like copycats to follow. Also, you can design body parts and just swap them depending on adaptation. Let's go. Let's go. So for sure, tails, maybe the gliding membranes, sharp claws for sure. Defense and survival, camouflage and mimicry patterns on body shapes that make insect and snakes look like leaves or twigs, hiding them from hungry predators. That we can do. Keen hearing and smell. Well, so basically they are just going to have their like long ears, right? Slow movement used by sloths to avoid catching the attention of sharp-eyed overhead hunters. Okay. That kind of gives me some ideas. So let's test them out, basically. Shall we? Let's test them out. So that's like our base, right? That's our base. I can copy a bunch of games and taking fun parts. Yes, but like you basically make an original idea for the game. It's like an art style, right? Like you're going to copy a bunch of art styles and you're going to get your original art style, which is going to just be fun for you, right? And make things look interesting for you. That makes sense. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm, really tensed up today. I don't know if I slept wrong or whatever. But yeah. So let's maybe do that thing, Like we're going to give them slightly different arms, and we're going to push the legs to make them double jointed. I'm happy. Why are you happy? Did they cancel your thing? Got paid for the previous year. Let's go. Finally, though. Finally. It was about time, wasn't it? Now they have to pay for this year. Bruh, you're going to take them down. Okay, hold up. Also, Zega, you remember you've mentioned that there might be this gig, right? Did they resolve it? You know, your girlfriend and stuff? The what? You've mentioned that your girlfriend like needed some like graphic designer help, right? Or am I like totally mixing things up right now? With those like moving banners and stuff? I don't know what up with that. I think their customer canceled. Oh, I see. Mm, okay, wait. I need to check how prehensile tails look like. Uh, they seem to be thicker than the normal tails. But the whole thing is so stupid. Like 4K PLN for 15 lines of CSS, bro. Listen, I won't. I wouldn't like, you know. I would be happy if I would receive 4K PLN for 15 lines of CSS. I wouldn't mind that. But yeah, you know, like that is the thing. Like they are paying for that. It's not really stupid. Like you're paying for someone who actually knows how to do that because you can also mess 15 lines of it pretty badly. You know? She told me those tasks can be taken over if someone does it for half the price. Huh. For 2K PLN? But like, is it like monthly? Or is it like per task, basically? It's just for the task, for that task, okay. In like 2-4 hours, like in 2-4 hours getting two grand PLN, that's still freaking a lot. in minutes if someone also there doing, yeah. To be fair, yeah, that's true. That's a Mewtwo. Damn. Hi Ren, got to be here. How are you? Hope Ren has gone. I'm doing good, doing good. How are you? Damn. Mewtwo. Pretty good, raining a lot, super Wi-Fi. I see, I see, I see. Actually, I think some like last time we've had some issues because we've also lost power a couple times. I think something happened to my router. And it's been kicking me out of the Wi-Fi once in a while. But I'm also scared that it might be, you know, connected with my PC. Damn. But yeah, I did give him the Mewtwo thighs. Dragon or lizard race? Elf. That's the best part. It's an elf. Because elves are like rapidly adapting, right? So those are forest elves. So they rapidly adapted to forest. So they like their bodies changed to fit into the forest needs. Like they've developed those like mostly like a lot of like movement stuff, like so you know like basically like all of those like membranes and other things. I guess I'm just going to test it on the guys. So that's like kind of like everything. You know what I mean? That I would go for. Um I think best evolution is a gun. Bruh, imagine. Also, I can't believe that Pokemons went for the Pokemon gun. Like, imagine. No, they didn't. I'm lying. Sorry. Well, so a lot of those are just going to be like, you know, some place. You know what I mean? Like, we're just going to play around. Like, that's the thing. I don't know how nightmarish I want to make them, because they shouldn't be nightmarish. They should be like, you know, characters that are going to fit into heroes, right? Have you tried Palworld? Oh yes. Oh yes. Dark Elves should be nightmarish. Yes, exactly. Because they are going to be on our side, right? Because we are the bad guys in this story. But yeah, I did try Palworld. I really like Palworld. I've been playing it in beta too. Doing the wrong thing for the right cause. I like the anti-hero classes too. Doing the wrong thing for the right cause. Yeah, you know, that's good. Dwarf type elf who lives in case, so a dwarf. No, a dwarf size elf. Damn. Cat-sized elves. Cat-sized elf girls. But yeah, we are just, you know, zooming through the thing. But like, it was kind of expected that I'm going to like speedrun all of those things, because like, I already know how I want my elves to look like. That's the problem. Elven cat girls? Hell yeah. I already know how I want my elves to look like. I'm doing this just for the portfolio sake, which sucks because I can't like do it differently. I have to do this step exactly because like, oh, you need to show us like how you work, show us your silhouettes and stuff. Like, I'm doing my own project, and I don't need to, as an artist who does that for my own project, I don't feel like I need to make those concept arts. But to make a good portfolio, I have to. So I'm using this project to actually make the concept arts for it. We're designing for elf, not a elf. I mean, the thing is that elves, like elves, are going to be high elves, which are going to be like in very remote section where there's no danger or anything or any environment to adapt. They're going to call themselves pure-blooded elves, right? Because like everywhere where you go, you are going to adapt quickly. Like if elves are going to, there are going to be elves living in like very cold environments, so they are going to like develop thick fat and like very like scaly dark skin, right? Like everything that all those like Antarctica animals have, right? Same with forest elves. They developed like they like fully actually developed like they've got like different legs, arms, and stuff. I should put genetically engineered cat girl maids into my cyberpunk. Promised and delivered by Mulan-esque. Yes. Yes. Go on for it. Go for it, man. It'll be so funny. So yeah, that's the thing, right? Yeah, making it for a portfolio sucks. Yeah, like because I even like counted like want a bunch of stupid references. Yes, go on. throw all of them at me, please. But yeah, like that's the whole thing, right? Like the main problem that I have is actually that I have to make it in for portfolio too. Without that, I would already have like stuff ready. You know, like I would probably already have an alpha done. I would like probably like try to progress with beta and add more things, more cards and stuff. You know, that's the thing. That's why I feel like making portfolio like holds me back by a lot. That's why I'm also like trying to progress with all of those things this week, because I also have to like write a little bit for High School DxD. I have to prepare some other stuff, like work on manga cam. You know, yeah, that's the thing. So in theory, like we're almost done with preparations, and we can slowly proceed with making the actual comic books on streams. You do one with orange too. Um, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Like one of them. Like I think about this one, you know, like antlers or something like this. You know what's a cool idea? Yeah. Elves, orcs, goblin, imps, etc. are kind of similar. Yeah, kinda. Hi, Jayon. Good to have you here. How are you? Hope it has good. How have you been? I have to admit, I'm really happy that I can, you know, if I made Fantasia, I would do halfling, but like between elf and imp, and or elf and orc. I see. Everything's fine. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Doing good. I've started recording actually. Mm, hold on. Okay. Sorry, had to blow my nose. You're making a game? Well, can I help? No, I'm doing it myself, and you know, just don't want to get involved into any teams. It's always really bad to get into teams, and I really help with characters. Just a little Easter egg. Nah, nah. It's not like we are doing characters like this. You know, it's like it's not a type of game that where you're just creating a character. So no Easter eggs, no nothing. Maybe some Easter eggs within the heroes, but I already got it covered. Like I really don't want. I want this project to be fully mine, and just I really have bad experiences with people like getting around, you know, and usually when you're around in teams, right? Everyone wants the slice of cake. They want to, you know, just add their own characters, which are like, you know, sometimes they're just foolish and they're like trying to do dick measuring contest with whose character, Easter egg character is going to be more OP and stuff, right? And they're just, oh, my character is God. Like the and like damn. Good to think of it, the Flings are kind of imp elves. Also in Warcraft, Nagas and Dryads also related to elves. Yeah, a lot of them are related to elves, actually. So we code kinda ish. I want to learn Godot and GDScript. I've got like a bunch of tutorials for GDScript, but I'm way too overloaded with that. So I think like the very basic game for like alpha or beta even is going to be done in Action Game Maker, which is created overlay on Godot, which gets still updated with Godot with slight change, with slight push because they need to like update everything. But Action Game Maker has visual coding, which will allow me to just work on the game as I was working on it in Pixel Game Maker. But Pixel Game Maker sucks. And despite me having now over 1,000 hours in this, I can't really do. I will just draw some characters for a game, like splash art, like fun drawing. I mean, I guess you can. It's alright. Like I'm making the project like kind of public already, so it would be okay if you want to like get around like fun drawings and stuff. It will be cool. I'm not sure Visual Game Maker is easier than code. Okay, thanks. To be fair, Zaga, I don't know how if it's easier at all, but I know that I wouldn't have to like learn visual code. I wouldn't have to learn coding, and as far as I've seen and played with it, it's exactly the same as Pixel Game Makers with some better things. So I can basically just do the same things as I was trying to do in Pixel Game Maker with some additional stuff, which are going to make things a bit easier. Because it's going to also give me the same things that Godot offers, right? I like how Unreal did it. Yeah, but Unreal is kind of messed up if I would want to release the game, and I want to. Okay, that sounds wonderful. So yeah. Unreal is no good for 2D. Yeah, that too. But the main problem is also that you can still do 2D in Unreal. I've seen people doing really great games in Unreal as 2D games. But the problem is with Unreal's licensing, With those, like Action Game Maker and Godot and stuff, you don't really have to worry as much for the projects. Unreal has good license. I don't think so. A lot of people say that if you want to release the game, you are kind of screwed. And it's not the first time that I've been seeing that. You have to pay a small percentage of your earn a bunch of money. If you earn a bunch of money, yeah. Well, in Action Game Maker, it's slightly different. In Action Game Maker, I don't have to pay anyone anything, actually, as far as it goes. Because, like, you're paying them for the software. And whatever you are doing with it, it's up to you, if you want to release it or not. Same with RPG Maker and other things, because those are from the same company. Action Game Maker, RPG Maker, Pixel Game Maker, it's all from Kodokawa. So like, yeah, that's that. Although I hate what Kodokawa did, it decimated the old forum where people were actually making like a crap load of like supports and stuff, and people are still working on that forum. They wiped it clean even, so you won't be able to like Google and find some old post from 5 years ago. No, they've eliminated the whole forum. It's not there anymore, or at least it shouldn't be there anymore. I don't know if they already did it or if they've changed their minds, because I was like, oh, okay. because whatever I can do, right? Yeah, that's the main issue. I don't know which one I want. This one looks way too nightmarish. This one. That's way too nightmarish. Yeah, I want to recommend one game. It's from Mongolia. It's first of Mongolian horror multiplayer. It's called Carnival Hunt. It's early access now. I hope you just check out. I'll see. I'll see. Although I'm not really good with horrors. I'm really bad with horrors. And it's not like, oh, I'm a casual gamer. That too. I've almost got a heart attack while playing Sucker for Love, which is pseudo horror game, but not really. It should be like visual novel with some stuff. With the second game, I've genuinely almost got a heart attack. Like literally everything went numb. So jump scare, yeah. It was that one jump scare with the girl, masked girl that was like trying to stab you. Like, god damn it. So yeah, if it's horror game, I doubt I would try it out. I can check it out on Steam though, like just see through. Well, it looks cool. Oh, it's kind of like Dead by Daylight. Okay. I don't think Dead by Daylight is scary at all, to be fair. So I wouldn't call it a horror. Oh well, whatever. I don't know which one of these three actually fits best for me. Also, I want to make some differences between genders too. So like we design males, but we'll have to like pick up the male design. Because like over here we just have like antlers, tail, the the membrane for hovering, and they're just going to have like normal hands, arms and stuff, but just they are going to have like longer like things, right? Longer nails that would help them to climb this way. So those are like probably like least mutated. Those are like probably, this is like nightmare fuel, like long as arms just to like grab higher like trees and stuff. This one is like, okay, this one is kind of like mutated in like really a lot, but it's like really helping a bunch, because like first of all they're going to have powerful forearms and very wide hands, which is going to help them to like climb not only on the trees but also on mountains, right? Then they have the legs, which are going to help them to run faster, and then we have the membranes that will allow them to like jump off of something and just hover, right? Like glide. And they are going to have those tails. But then also the ears are normal elf ears, and they're like just going to help them also with hearing better, right? The problem is which one do I want to do? I don't know. The least work probably is going to be with the last one. Like I won't lie, my original idea was kind of like something between this one and this one, right? So like still kind of like furry forearms with like just normal sized hands and just those like nails, right? So just basically made to just run, right? Were just made to run through the thing. and basically like being like ultimate being in the forest. Besides those, we are going to have also a dwarves, which I also know how I want to make them. I want them to be like more turtle-like, with like stone shells, which are going to change their composite based off of what they ate. And they are not going to eat normal food, they are going to eat minerals and rocks. So basically, and also if they're going to eat a lot of like hard metals, their bodies are going to solidify. If they are going to eat a lot of soft metals, they are going to be very vulnerable and kind of like blobby, you know, kind of like slimy, basically. So they have to keep constantly like balanced diet, but it's also like helping them to be like nearly invulnerable, right? Like invincible, basically. Of course, like you can still hit them with like a pickaxe and it's going to like take off of the chunk off of their thing. And if they eat a lot of gold, they can be sold for a lot more on this slave market. Yeah. Actually, yeah, that would make sense, yeah. Because their shells would be composite out of gold, right? So it would be and maybe if basically they could be even like already more like sold for more on slave market, because they would be like perfect melting pot, because you would just feed them certain metals that you want to merge together in proportions that you want to merge together, and just rip out the out of their shells the you know, the composite that would be developed, right? So yeah, that does make sense, but it's high fantasy, you know. But like, well, yeah, scientists feeding them random metals trying to make gold. Yeah, yeah. I finished my coffee, so I'm going to drink something else. But yeah, that's the basic idea behind elves and dwarves. But I want to make shorter stream because I need to rethink what I want to do with elves. Because I'll have to probably like pick up decision. For sure, not the middle one. I don't know though. Let me know, folks. In the chat, where I'm just going to make like, you know, ending talk. Maybe we can have some fun. Basically, it's because like I want to, you know, do things. I also have here my app that I've made for boards. You're not going to see it, hopefully. Yeah, no. Okay, so hopefully you're not going to see it, but basically the whole concept is... yeah. The whole concept is going to be like, I'm kind of looking what I want to do. Do you plan to do beasts too, or just humanoids? Beasts too, but for later. For now, I want to make like basic races that we can just throw around. So like, you know, demon, like demon imp thing, right? Like goblin, kitchen, something like that for the dungeons, and some basic humans. But there will be, for example, like things that, like, I'm going to upgrade the game over time. You are going to explore, you are going to have like warrior cleric, and it's going to be paladin. Skeleton zombies, yes, but later. So basically, to look at it, for now I have humans, dwarves, and elves for good races, goblins, orcs, and demons for the bad races. But sure, skeleton zombies are still going to be the thing, right? As a matter of fact, there's... is it there? Yeah, King Lich. So King Lich is going to have a passive when it's going to be finally done, that whenever you're placing an empty chamber without any monsters inside, so chamber that doesn't deal any damage, is going to spawn. He's going to spawn skeletons or zombies there. Of course, it's going to depend highly on the things, right? Like you are first. I believe we are going to also be able to level up the main boss card. Want to rise the health a little bit to make things more interesting, but also to upgrade the passive. So King Lich is going to start without much, right? He's not going to have that passive at all. On the first level up, he's going to actually spawn skeletons, which are going to be fragile and deal less damage. And then he's going to spawn whole zombies after upgrade. That's actually the idea I've had. But also there are going to be like other rooms, right? Like zombie revival chamber or something like that. And it's just going to be like, you know, Frankenstein's monster, right? Kind of chamber. So that's that. And also, like later on, I think like adding other things to like mini bosses that there are going to be like massive like mini bosses that are going to deal more damage. You'll be able to put into any chamber you want, but with some chambers they're also going to have some synergies, you know, just so people would have like possibility to think a little bit about their about how they are building their dungeon, you know. So like if you're lucky enough, because everything's going to be randomized, it's not like you're building a deck there. It's all randomized, right? And of course I'm going to make like, you know, add-ons, DLCs, right? Like, for example, with the mini bosses, because that's going to be a whole new mechanic, probably a bunch of new cards, you know. I think that could be like a good DLC for like 5 PLN, which is going to be like $2 or something like this. But, you know, I want to make sure that the game is going to be enjoyable on its own, without DLCs, you know? So I want to first like make sure that everything that I make there is going to be like absolutely perfect. And again, like add more races, add more like classes. So again, like we are going to experience that there's going to be warrior cleric who's going to be a paladin. We are going to experience other things, right? Like battle mages and other things. So, because for example, those are going to be a bit more tricky because like pure classes are going to go to the highest number. Battle mage is just a hobby. So like if you are going to have like a lot of chambers with the symbol with a sword, the warriors are going to, and you have the most of those symbols in between all of the players, all warriors are going to go to your dungeon. That's like the main thing. You have to build your dungeon to have enough artifacts for the heroes to come to your base. And basically the plan is that you have to like collect certain amount of points. You can set it, right? The more points, of course, the more rounds you'll have to play. But, you know, things. And it's going to be quite simple to come to think of it as, you know, for example, by then, warriors mix those paladins, which are going to be looking for warrior artifacts and cleric artifacts. They are going to calculate which one has the most of both. So it's not going to be by singular amount, it's going to be by both amount. So let's say you have only one sword, but you have like 10 cleric artifacts in your chambers. And altogether it's 11, and everyone else around you have on max with both calculated like only 7. So instead of like losing the like winning the clerics and losing the warriors, you're actually winning the paladin, right? So that's the thing. And because like the total amount of those both symbols is higher than any other player. Like there's just a bunch of mechanics. It's just going to be like game like mixed with mechanics, right? Because it's just going to be like a party card game. That's why I want to make it as interesting as possible and make people like think about it as much as possible, you know? So yeah, that's that. I still don't know which elf I want to pick. And I know it's like kind of lame that I'm streaming for 1 hour. All I do is like finishing human bases and make silhouettes and silhouettes of elves, but at least with progress. Remember that if it like making one step is better than not move. Sure, might be worse than running a marathon, but it's better than sitting on your couch. You know what I mean? So like even if we've done, you might feel like it's a very small step, it's actually a very huge step. Because actually we have to still make the decision. I kind of doing this because I have to save this. So yeah. Also, I am slowly like ending bunch of things. So I'm really happy with it. I have to do some like graphics still. I have to finish the commission, which kind of sucks. I'm waiting for the confirmation from the client if what I've got is actually good. Because the client like asked for changes that would make me have to redo whole sketches, right? And I don't want that, you know? But I also don't want to be the type of person that is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm too lazy to make that. I can redo those. It's just going to take a lot of time, and if someone else is going to come in, I'm going to like put his commission on hold and take care of someone else, right? Because I'm working on his commission for a while. So that's like how I prefer to work. Like the more things you are mantling around, like sure, I'm going to do those because like client is always right and I want to deliver what they want. But if I have to like hold the whole queue just because someone wants me to like redo 6 artworks in the entire commission, it's like, okay, I have to like solve it somehow, right? And the best solution is to actually like start treating him as a low priority client, right? So that's the case. But I don't have any other commissions, so I'm just working on his commission like this, so whatever. But yeah, folks, anyway, as always, thank you all, actually. Hope to see you in the next one. And yeah, bye.